Hey guys, how you going? This is BillyEatWorld, and today we're going to take a look at a theme loadout inspired by the Belgian Special Forces Group. This setup was suggested by Dat Murdoch in the comments of my last loadout video, so thanks for the suggestion, man, and I hope I do it justice for you. In this series, I try and take ideas from the comments as much as possible, so if you've got an idea for a theme that you'd like me to try out, then feel free to leave it in the comments section below. I don't have time to make a video on every loadout, but chances are if you suggest something fun, I'll probably give it a try, and it might even make it into a video. But anyway, the Belgian Special Forces Group are the Tier 1 Special Operations component of the Belgian Army. They were originally trained by the British SAS in World War II, and to this day they still share a very similar role. They even share the same emblem and the same motto, "Who dares wins," and many people still refer to the unit by their original name, the Belgian SAS. In the decades after World War II, the unit took on many different names and was restructured a number of times, until finally becoming the Special Forces Group in 2003. The SFG specialise in a wide range of roles, from counter-terrorism to long-range recon and unconventional warfare. Because of this, their operators are some of the most well-trained SOF units in the world, and their grueling selection program is designed to eliminate all but the very best. Candidates are usually selected from the paracommando units of the Belgian Army and must have at least 4 years experience before they're allowed to apply. Most candidates are eliminated in the initial 3-week selection phase, and many of those that do pass are later eliminated in the following 18 months of training. Like their counterparts, the SAS, the SFG can be deployed at a moment's notice to just about anywhere in the world. They're trained to insert from the sea, air and the land, and are able to operate covertly behind enemy lines and to extract without ever leaving a trace. Like I said before, the original Belgian SAS served in World War II, but since then they've also been deployed to a number of other conflicts. In the past few decades, the SFG have served in Bosnia, Kosovo and Afghanistan, but considering their operations are classified, there's a good chance there's a lot more deployments that we'll never know about. Now, the Belgian SFG are known for using a number of in-game weapons, all made by the well-known Belgian manufacturer FN57. The primary assault rifles of the SFG are the F2000 and the FN57, and they also use the SCAR-H, the M249 and the FN57. The original post actually suggested I run with the SCAR-H and the FN57, but I've done so many of these videos with the SCAR, so as you can see I decided to swap it out for the F2000. It makes a lot of sense with this theme too, because the F2000 is still a relatively new design, and because of this the SFG are one of the few SOF units that actually field the weapon. As for attachments, well, on the F2000 I decided to run with the EOTech, Vert Grip and Laser Light combo, which seems to be a fairly standard setup used by the SFG. Usually, realistic setups tend to not work that well in-game, but these attachments seem to be decent enough, and I really didn't find myself wanting to swap anything out. On the FN57, well, I didn't use any attachments at all, because usually military forces can't justify the cost of expensive attachments for secondary weapons. Even without attachments though, the FN57 does the job pretty well, and although it's not one of my favourite pistols, it's definitely one of the better semi-autos. Now, to round out this loadout, the original post suggested that I run with the defibs, the med bags, the flashbangs and the boot knife. I also decided to throw on the Firestarter camo because it's similar to the standard Belgian Army camo pattern, which has a lot more red than you'd expect to see in most camos. For anyone who watches my channel on a regular basis, you know that I'm not a big fan of the defibs, but I'm slowly starting to remember to use them even though I still kind of prefer the tube. The defibs are really good on some game modes, but it's such a pain not to have anything to flush out enemies or break walls, so I still struggle a bit every time I run them. The flashbangs are another thing that I don't tend to use on a regular basis, and to be honest I haven't really used them since they got a buff. They are actually really effective now, almost to the point of being broken, so if your teammates are already popping smoke then you might want to switch to flashbangs instead. Once again though, without the noob tube or frag grenades, you don't have any way of flushing out enemies, and this is a really big deal on game modes like Rush. Grenades have the effect of making enemy players expose themselves, and to be honest, I don't think the flashbang effect is quite as good in a lot of situations. But anyway, to finish up, all in all, apart from the few things I mentioned, this loadout was fun and really easy to use. Honestly, the F2000 is one of the best guns in the game, and it's surprising that it's not more popular than it is at the moment. It's like a cross between the ACE-23 and the AEK, so if you can get over the longer bullpup reload, it's a nice alternative that works just as well. It's not super effective at long range, but it is decent enough for all ranges, and it should do pretty well on pretty much any map. There isn't really a lot to say about the rest of the loadout that I haven't already said, although I will say that it's probably better suited for TDM and domination. The lack of explosives is hard to make up for if you're not playing with a squad, and the flashbangs are going to be much more effective in close quarters. That being said though, it's really not that situational, and it's not like you're really going to notice on bigger maps unless you spam a lot of gadgets and grenades. At the end of the day, the strength of this loadout is in the med bag and the F2000, and everything else is pretty much just an optional extra. But anyway guys, that just about wraps up this loadout, so let me know what you think in the comment section below, and as always, if you like what you see, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Also, check out the links in the description below if you want to see more of my videos, or if you'd like to support my channel on Patreon, and until next time, see you later, and have a good one.